There are over 30 recognized editing styles in the anime editing space right now. And when I started editing, nobody sat me down and said, hey, this is where you should start. I just picked something random, watched the tutorial, got completely lost, quit, came back 2 weeks later and did the exact same thing again. And honestly, that's most people's story. And today, you'll be learning the best editing styles for beginners. We're going to be ranking every major anime editing style from easiest to hardest. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you which ones are actually worth starting with and which ones you should probably avoid until you know what you're doing. This video idea came from DW3, who said I should make a video about what styles beginners should do based on difficulty. And I need you to understand one thing. The problem isn't that the styles are hard. The problem is just that nobody tells you which ones are worth your time at the start and which ones will frustrate you into just quitting before you've actually learned anything. I've edited almost all these styles before, and you'll know if you watch the channel for a long time. And it's that you shouldn't really try difficult things right off the bat. You should kind of ease your way into it.
What do you mean by that?
But anyways, we're going to make this quick and you're going to get all the information on which types of editing styles you should go for as a beginner, of course. Okay, and I have to address this, so I'm involving them now so that you don't bother me later, okay? Manga edits. Oh my goodness. Let me paint the picture for you. You take manga panels, static images that don't move, cut them to music, add some effects, and call it an edit. Yeah, it's definitely by far the lowest barrier to entry on this entire list. Next up, we got AI edits. There's a lot of controversy with AI edits in the editing space, I understand. So AI generated visuals combined with editing is technically impressive output. Not technically, it is, because you still need the skill to make the edit. But the problem is that you didn't make the visual yourself. You just assembled it. So curation is a skill, but be honest about what's happening, because the editing space hasn't figured out where AI edits sit yet. And finally, troll face / meme edits. So like, I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this. It's just terrible, dumb, ridiculous things that used to go viral back in like 2020, 2021. It's a different skill set from everything else on the list, and you're just gonna be editing for laughs and not just aesthetics. So if you want to make something dumb, then this is great. I've given you the honorable mention, so leave me alone in the comments, okay? Velocity edits. This is by far the best start point for editors, full stop. You're gonna see so many people making velocity edits, and it's really the easiest type. All you need to do is slow down the video and make it faster. So you're basically just using speed ramps synced to the music, clips slowing down, and then you just speed it up on beat. So that's all it is. And you just add a cool few effects. It's gonna teach you timing, beat awareness, and clip selection all at once without needing a single plugin. All these are super important skills that you're gonna have to learn if you actually want to be able to do the difficult editing styles. So in my opinion, I think velocity edits are the best starting point for any type of beginner, because they're very easy to do. You don't need any type of crazy plugins, and most viral beginner edits you've seen are velocity edits. After velocity edits, we got flow edits. Now flow edits may seem complicated at first, but they're not as complicated as you may think. It's a step up from velocity. It's still accessible. You've got, for example, smooth transitions and movement between clips, which not everyone knows how to do. And the edit should breathe with the song. It's kind of like yin and yang, where both should be perfect. But the thing is that it requires more intentional clip selections. And a bad clip in a flow edit is super obvious, because if the clips don't flow together, then you've ruined the entire edit. And it's gonna make clips feel very jittery. So you need to practice this. And even without any transitions, just hard cuts, you can literally see that the edit itself is taking shape. And all you need to do after that is just add effects on top of it. Mixtape edits. Oof. But yeah, we got a difficult one. I'm not gonna say difficult. I'm gonna say very annoying to see. All right, so mixtape edits. Basically a compilation of clips set to a song, and you literally do not need any technique. It's very low technique involved. You're just picking clips and cutting them to the music. It's super easy to make, very popular, and so overhyped, to the point where, if you guys have watched the channel, you guys know that I despise manga edits. But mixtape edits to me is a close second, because it's in the same nature, and you'll always see these types of edits with funk songs. I was gonna try to sing, but we're not doing that. The barrier to entry is so low that everyone and their cousin has made one. So yours needs to actually be good to stand out, and most of them aren't. You're not gonna get very far with mixtape edits. So if you're doing those right now, please do something different. Please do something different. Next up is the aesthetic style. So aesthetic styles can vary. There's different styles that you can do with this, I guess, edit styles. I don't know what else to call it. So aesthetic styles are built around mood and atmosphere rather than technical skill. So So if you got really good song choices, a good scene, great color grading, slow pacing or whatever, this is going to be great. So you want to go for soft color grading, slow pacing, melancholic or cinematic type of music. And to be honest, the editing isn't demanding. The challenge is just developing taste and knowing which clips fit the vibe. And most beginners typically underestimate this because it looks simple, but genuinely making something aesthetic is harder than it looks because there's so many things that go behind that. Okay, next we got AMVs. AMVs, everyone knows what AMV edits are. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain it. Like, it's the classic, the grandparent of all anime editing. It's like the big three when people reference anime. Anyone should know what an AMV is. Anyway, so it's basically full video edits synced to a full song. They usually tell a story through the clips, and like you'll be able to, you've seen those on YouTube. Like, I shouldn't have to explain that. They're slightly more demanding than Velocity or Mixtape and requires understanding of pacing. So if you don't understand how or what makes a good story, then you probably shouldn't go for this. But the thing is that AMVs are so good if you want to learn because it teaches you to think about an edit as the whole piece and not just a selection of cool moments. And I can guarantee you that your first one is not going to be very great. Matter of fact, it's going to be terrible. But that's the point, because you're going to be great by doing the thing more. The more reps you get, the better you're going to be. So these are all of the editing styles for full-on beginners. Once you master these core editing styles, you can move on to candy style. So the candy styles are very difficult to do. I'm going to be completely honest. They're not very easy to do. You've got heavy color grading, vibrant saturated tones, and it's very visual focused. And it requires a basic understanding of color theory, which you cannot get yourself. You can't just crank the saturation all the way. Like, that's not how it works, okay? It looks incredible when it's done right, but it looks like a fever dream whenever you do it wrong. So I feel like you really shouldn't do this unless you have a really good idea of what color theory is and a really good execution. But other than that, don't touch it. Next, we got the Jugg style. Now, Jugg style, everyone knows what Jugg edits are. I've even made one myself. Super fast, aggressive, heavy on beat drops and clip intensity. It's actually pretty popular right now. I feel like a lot of people like making these types of edits. They're either super underrated or crazy and nobody's seen them. But the thing is that it requires good clip selection because the pace is very unforgiving. You need super quick, snappy things, else it's kind of cooked and it's taking too long. So it's really fun to learn, but I think once you get the velocity and flow down first, you'll be able to get the Jugg style. You get me? Like Opium edits. Oof. They're not actually very hard. You just need to like know some of the effects that you're gonna have to be using. It's like dark, aesthetic, heavy atmosphere, slow burn kind of thing. So it's not technically demanding, right? But developing the taste for it takes time. Like if you've never editing an Opium style edit before, you're gonna kind of lack or not know how to use the right effects at the right time. You're not gonna know when to use the right clips because it's a completely different ballpark to any anime style edit, right? Overlay styles, yes. So there's a bunch of visual elements, textures, particles, VFX over the footage. Like there's a lot of stuff on screen, which kind of makes it, I want to say, like riddled with a bunch of random stuff on the screen. I couldn't find anything else to describe it, so just bear with me, okay? But the thing is that it teaches you composition and layering, which all these skills that you will learn will transfer to all other types of edits. If you know how to add a bunch of visual elements, textures, you know how to change the visual saturation of elements and things of that nature, it's gonna make everything so much better, not only for this type of edit but for other edits that you'll be making in the future. Next, Mograph Edits. We got to the big dogs now. We're getting there. We're getting into the big leagues, okay? So Mograph Edits is where editing actually becomes design work. So animated text, kinetic typography, moving graphics and all that stuff. Very high skill ceiling and very high reward. If people see a motion graphic edit, they're gonna be like, wow, this is actually insane. You're gonna get a lot of engagement. But the thing is, yeah, you're gonna have to learn, buddy. You're gonna have to learn, and that learning is actually 10 times harder than any other thing on this list so far. So it's good if you have a long-term goal of getting better at editing, because it's gonna teach you so many concepts and theories for editing, but not for a beginner specifically. Next, hybrid edits. So it's a combination of multiple styles in one edit. So you got flow into Jugg, into overlay edits, into like a color shift. There's so many things that go into hybrid edits. So it requires actually being good at the multiple individual styles first, and then once you get that, you'll be able to flow things much more seamlessly, which will be very good for the edit itself. I feel like hybrid edits are usually from people who don't have a specific style, and so hopefully with this list you'll be able to learn which editing styles are the best for you. That being said, make sure to like and subscribe to help the channel out. You watching the entire video and leaving these comments about your experiences and opinions really make my day. And for those of you who want to quote unquote know how to not get AE, then go to my Instagram page, link in description, and make sure to follow me and like the post on the the page so I can see your message. If you're watching these videos, it means you actively want to improve our video creation as a whole, whether it's edits, content creation, or anything that requires editing, which shows your determination to win in life. So thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking out with me, and let's get back into it. Xenoz Style. Everyone knows Xenoz. It's a reference to the OG Xenoz 2019-2021. So it's a very definitive style in the anime editing space. So you've got heavy motion blur, sharp cuts, aggressive timing, and it's all super cinematic. But the thing is that it's been copied so many times that doing a genuine Xenoz style edit now is almost a tribute act. Like, you kind of have to do it if you want to even get into the anime editing space. But in my opinion, it's still worth studying for what it taught the space about intentional motion. Every single transition and stuff like that is intentional. That's all there is to say about it. And the thing is that you could find a bunch of project files of other editors that have made this and made it free so that you could study it yourself. So I definitely think that you should study this style, not replicate it, but make it your own. Add the things that you like, add the elements that you like, and it's gonna be very unique to you as a person instead of following the crowd. Nikovax Style. Okay, so a lot of people will scream at me for this, but I feel like it's overrated. I'm saying there's a lot of cool visuals for Nikovax Style, but there's a lot of overhyped things, I will say. So it's typography and text-based effects pushed to an extreme, and the text is actually part of the visual itself. So it's very technically demanding. You need to have a lot of After Effects knowledge and animation knowledge as well. But when it's done right, it's super impressive, and when done wrong, it looks like someone discovered text animations for the first time. We're not going back to the Stone Age. So Nikovax, his own style is very good, but I feel like the people that try to replicate it don't really match the same vibe. So you got to really make sure that you match it perfectly without copying, obviously. Molob Style. Everyone knows Molob, obviously, and some people have even left comments saying that my videos are copying Molob. I don't even know how you got that impression. Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you, buddy, but just because I'm making an editing video does not mean that I copied Molob, all right? Don't leave a comment saying whatever. So Molob Style, you've got smooth, cinematic, and high production value, and it feels super premium. This is what's gonna get a bunch of people that don't watch editing or know nothing about editing to watch your videos. So if you want to go viral, this is definitely the move. There's a heavy reliance on color grading each clip so that it feels like it's matching from clip to clip, and every cut feels earned. So I feel like definitely Molob turned anime editing into a visual art form, and it's definitely at a level that most of the space wasn't even thinking about. Definitely an honorable mention that had to be on this video. So yo, Molob, if you're watching this, bro, hit me up. Let's do a collab, bro. I'm trying to what am I saying, bro? Next up, we got Roto Edits. Roto Edits, I feel like, are not difficult, but they are very time consuming. Manually rotoscoping every single thing frame by frame takes a long time, super time consuming, and you will definitely age like 60 years during the entire process. So for you to make an entire edit, you can imagine that by then you have 3 kids, a wife, and you'd probably be on your deathbed. I will say that the results can be stunning because nobody wants to actually do the work required. Think Infinity MV and things of that nature. Like, edits like that takes so long to do, and it's not even that it's too difficult to do. It's more like the time that it takes to actually think out the scenes, make them yourself, roto everything out, then do the color. It's too much. Obviously, there's a very high barrier to entry, and if you want to get into that, you're gonna have to do a lot of work, which not a lot of people want to do. Next up, we got Blender Edits. Obviously, Blender Edits are goated. They're either goated or they're either terrible. There's no in between. But I'm saying for Blender Edits that are fully made with Blender and you combine it with editing, it's a completely different skill set. I feel like if you're a beginner and you're trying to do Blender Edits, this is not the move at all. You're gonna have a very hard time, and matter of fact, I feel like it might make you quit completely editing just cuts. So the crossover between the people who can do well is a very small, which is exactly why it stands out, because there's not many people doing it. And finally, the last one, the GOATs. We've got the Inulishwa /Whis/9 headache. The amount of glaze that people have given this guy. Oh my god. It's a super niche signature styles that are built around specific creators' personal aesthetics. And the only way to really understand them is to study the original editors directly. So if you're trying to edit in someone else's name style, you've already skipped the most important step, which is developing your own style. At the end of the day, if you're copying everyone, it's not the best thing. So I feel like you should be using the things on this list to get the skills and to acquire them and to try new things. And once you have a good idea of the things that you've done, you can craft and meticulously chisel away at your own editing style. And if you actually do that, you'll be considered one of the greats. That's if you're good. Of course, if you make terrible edits, you're just gonna be, yeah. Study the source, don't copy the label. So to bring it all back with all of these options, trying all of them at once is the worst thing you can do by far. So pick one, finish 5 edits in that style, and once you think you've mastered it, move on to the next. If you guys want to have deeper dives on editing things, then watch this video right here. And if you want to get better at editing, just subscribe to the channel, because there's gonna be much more. And go follow my IG, because bro, I need to look cool. Okay, so go follow me and I'll give you the free AE link. Anyways, sprint to success.